I was sleeping in a motel room with a broken heart and an empty soul. Trying to drown out all my memories, trying to escape what I couldn't control. The mirror showed a tired stranger. I was carrying years of pain. Every bad choice I'd ever made was running circles through my brain. I had burned bridges behind me, lost people I loved along the way, and every road I kept choosing led me further into gray. And one night in the silence, when there was nothing left to hide, I finally stopped running from the truth inside. Sometimes you gotta lose your footing to learn how to stand. Sometimes life breaks your plans to show you who you really am. I met God at rock bottom, where the darkness knew my name, when I had nothing left to hold on to and nobody else to blame. I met God at rock bottom, when my whole world fell apart, and somehow in the middle of the wreckage, He found my heart. He found my heart. He found my heart. The highway stretched before me like a question without an answer. Every mile felt heavy, every memory felt louder. But healing started quietly, like a rain falling on dry ground. Not all at once, just enough to turn me around. I learned that strength ain't perfection, and courage ain't never falling down. It's getting back up after failure and refusing to stay on the ground. Every scar became a lesson, every wound became a guide, leading me toward a future I thought had already died. I met God at rock bottom, where the darkness knew my name, when I had nothing left to hold on to and nobody else to blame. I met God at rock bottom, when my whole world fell apart, and somehow in the middle of the wreckage, He found my heart. Maybe you're standing where I stood, feeling lost and all alone. Maybe life has taken pieces you can never bring back home. Maybe you're carrying burdens too heavy to explain, trying to smile through heartbreak, trying to walk through rain. But darling, don't stop believing, don't surrender to despair, because sometimes your greatest blessing finds you when you're there, at the very place you thought nothing good could ever start. Sometimes healing finds you at rock bottom in the dark. When hope was gone, I found a reason. When faith was weak, I kept believing. When I broke down, I found freedom at rock bottom. You know what's strange about rock bottom? Everybody fears it. Everybody spends their life trying to avoid it. We think it's the place where everything ends, the place where dreams die, the place where people give up. But what nobody tells you is that rock bottom strips away everything fake. The masks, the excuses, the pride, the lies you tell yourself, all of it disappears. And for the first time,
You're forced to face the truth. Not the person everyone thinks you are, not the person you pretend to be, the real you. And that's terrifying, but it's also freeing. Because once you've hit the bottom, there's only one direction left: up. One breath at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. I used to think healing would feel dramatic, like lightning striking, like a miracle overnight. But healing felt different. It felt like waking up one morning and deciding not to quit, then doing the same thing the next day, and the next, and the next, until one day you realize you've become someone stronger. And maybe that's what finding God really means. Not finding all the answers, not becoming perfect, but discovering hope in the middle of hopelessness. Finding light in the middle of darkness. Finding yourself when everything else is gone. I met God at rock bottom, where the darkness knew my name. When I had nothing left to hold on to and nobody else to blame. I met God at rock bottom, when my whole world fell apart. And somehow in the middle of the wreckage, He found my heart. I met God at rock bottom, and He taught me how to rise, taught me how to keep believing when I couldn't see the light. I met God at rock bottom, and my life was never the same. Because sometimes your greatest victory comes after your deepest. Funny how life can bring you to your knees. Funny how the answers sometimes hide inside the pain. I never thought I'd find myself there, but I met God at rock bottom. Everybody talks about the mountaintop. Nobody talks about the valley. Nobody talks about those nights when you're staring at the ceiling, wondering if you'll ever find your way back. This is that story. I was running on empty, living